I rolled a 1, so that means Ted. What happened last time?
Last time we made our way into the tower of I forget if it was Schleichlach or whoever it was, and basically we had a lot of experiences with various creatures that had all sorts of bulbous, kind of nasty growths, and it could have been like ape creatures, it could have been humanoid, and we ended up making our way to, I think it was the tower, or is that the time before? Am I misremembering?
No, I mean tower was our last adventure. Now we're in a like something like a cultist.
That's right. We got
church or something like that.
My bad.
Can you guys?
We are fighting frogs mainly.
We fought like a pit of frogs, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it was sort of a, I think, in fact, I know.
It was
Ian
like horde of frogs.
Ian called it whack-a-mole, but it was like whack-a-toad, basically. So we spent a fair amount of time clearing that out. We freed we freed a lot of platinum discs out of the bottom of a breeding pit or spawning pit or whatever.
Yeah. That was the most important thing we did.
But we also freed a, I don't want to say a rebel, but maybe a, kind of a competing faction leader, essentially amongst the cultists. And I think his claim was that the current leadership had lost their way, or they were not like the true believers. And I think we were inclined to use him for intelligence and things of that nature. And my memory gets a little rusty at this point because I had to jump in the car, but I think we kept on the pressure and kept on moving through the cultist lair. I don't know that we've run into that senior management group that our little advisor had a beef with, but I know we've dealt with a couple of their champions and things like that.
Yeah,
correct me where I went wrong, guys. I mean,
to zoom out, you obtained a crawl jammer it turns out in the Starless Sea, and in the process of that, you had an audience with the host of chaos, and you were able to trick them and evade them, restoring the yolkless egg to its place in the plane of law. And then in an evasion of the hosts of chaos, you traveled the stars back to your home planet, but something shot you down. You destroyed that thing's tower, averting its coming. And you're in this swampland, and there's this village, and they worship a god called Boba Big Bills. And Jeffica, in particular, was able to call on her god of chaos to point you to the temple, evading an audience with this Boba Bugbills. But it's the competitor of Boba Bugbills, Schapridoaz. And you're entering this temple, and at this point, basically cleansing it, destroying the spawn of chaos, whether because you're motivated by law or money, or because this chaos god is lesser than your own chaos god. And you've just destroyed an entire army of giant frogs. And this person you freed is basically like, I could show you where their leaders are. When you got there, all of a sudden these vampire bat frogs descended, and you destroyed them and beat them off. And here you are. You're sitting at you're at the top of this descent further down, and you're in this underground layer called the Croaking Fane, and that's where we are right now.
No, to be fair, our creatures like snakes that Jeffica produced was much more scary than those frogs. Like they had the face of Jeffica and everything. Like and we're watchers as crap. And
Thanks for filling in the
horrifying.
blanks there, Ross.
Yeah.
Well, I thought maybe we should also kind of recap, like, what is the, because it's such a bizarre, winding, crazy sword and sorcery kind of thing. That is like, you know what? Let's zoom out actually, and
good summary. So, you know, once you take a couple DM or GM XPs, I'll get that.
So in this room here, you've down at your feet are all these nasty frog vampire bats crunching under your feet. Jeffica surrounded by her Jeffica snakes, and you can see that there is another gate like the one that you took coming in here, like a wooden kind of vertical, wooden gate. And it doesn't appear to be locked. And the person that you freed, he's like, and he has trouble talking. He's like, they're that way. They're that way. He's been standing at the back the whole time. What do you do? Oh, and hey, Ian.
I would say that we should try to maybe those horrible snakes of Jeffica should go first. What do you think, Jeffica?
Well, I mean, you know, Patrick, I don't know if they've evolved to have arms yet. It might be hard for them to open the door.
Alice will probably open the door and have a look.
Alice opens the door and has a look. Okay, you should be able to actually open the door in the VTT. Yeah, there you go. And you can see that there's stone steps descending sharply into the darkness. You can smell as you open this door stronger than before the stink of toad and slime, and less identifiable odors that hang heavy in the damp air. And you can tell that down below in the stairs, it is damp indeed. It's just almost the moisture hanging fat in the air. You can hear noisome forms down in the darkness. That's the best you can tell from the top of these stairs.
Alice will request protection from Justicia and then head down.
That's a D12. Did that roll the right die? That's interesting. Oh, that's Charles. Okay.
Yeah, that was me because you all had healed me last time, and I was just I had to do it this time because I wasn't at the table.
A natural. No, it's 18. Okay, yeah, 18 plus 2. Nice.
I still think that those snakes should go first. I just look at them. I mean, compared to all those frogs, they're more scary than anything we encountered here.
It looks like ULS is intent on leading the way. He says this prayer. Yeah. You can see ULS as you descend down into the stairs that it's the majority of the cavern is filled with a bubbling pool of scummy black water. There are these forms breaking the surface of the water from time to time, granting you a glimpse at a nightmarish mixture of amphibian and man in its depths. The forms seem oddly quiescent, though, more akin to flotsam and jetsam adrift on a tide than any actual swimmers. And beyond the pool stands a misshapen bulk of stone fashioned into the obese form of a toad. It's covered in swarming tadpoles, and a trio of glittering stones decorate the statue's belly, each one shining with pale luminescence. As soon as you enter here, the person that was coming with you, they follow, pushing past Uellis, and he says, "Finally, finally!" And he starts running towards the pool.
Uellis will happily watch him run towards the pool.
All right.
It'll Charles will say, kind of in a Gene Wilder, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, "No, wait, don't," but does nothing to stop.
What were you going to say, Latro?
I mean, like, Latro, like, kind of, like, gives a look at his companions and like, should we want to let this guy just, take off? I mean, just kind of shrugs, I guess.
Are we gonna stop him?
Really to be tracked. So might as well let him go first. Second, if he makes it across, all the snakes go search the waters for any potential ambushes. But anyways, go ahead, Victor.
I'm not sure about him. Maybe we should keep a close eye on him. We don't know who he is, really. From a look of it, he's not very, a beautiful fellow. I wouldn't let him into my house, but hell knows.
Let's see. I gotta pick some stuff here. Maybe I've misunderstood this. Give me just a second.
Yeah, Potter is gonna ask that guy, and what's finally happened, young man? Or hell knows, it's very hard to tell. Actually, you're young or old. Looking at you.
Let's see here. And ooh, this one's a crazy one.
So while he's busy, from the spell, everyone gets +1 bonus to saves, effectively +1 to armor class, and -1 damage per die if you take damage.
Oh,
Nice.
Something actually happens as you say this prayer and then you enter this space. Euelis, you can sense that your connection to this power, the lady that you have this connection with, there's something dampened. There's something different. And I need you to roll a d5. All right. You only vaguely sense that there's something different about your connection to your lady here. Only -1 from the result.
I don't think that changes it. Yes, it does. Yeah, it only affects me then. That's the only difference.
Okay, yeah. So if you all let him run, I'm hearing you all say that you're going to let him run, right?
No, I actually wanted to ask him a question.
Oh, he ignores you unless you try to physically restrain him.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Yeah, he's like finally, and he just runs down into the pool like submersing himself.
Anyone wants to stop him? I mean, or just no? No
all
one?
Right. Yeah, he runs down into the pool and the waters and just submerses himself, basically drowning himself in the pool. You don't see him arise again, and then as a result, you see large ripples across the bubbling water surfaces, and these partially frog people, partially some of them still people. They arise from the pool, and glistening and horrid, they all attack you. You can roll for initiative. Hold your result. I can't get it down yet. I'm just using this token because it's a generic one, so don't take this as a representation of what they all look like.
Oh my God! More frogs! What a surprise!
These are people. This token does not represent what they look like.
Oh, okay.
But the people do have a mixture of like frog-like attributes. One of them rises and stands before the statue in the stones on the far end of the room. Anyone who is a cleric can sense a powerful force of some sort emanating from the stones. I'm just going to give these two some attributes so I can track them. No, that's not what I want.
And Wizard, does he like feel the magic or something like that, or only cleric feels it?
It makes sense to me that you would feel it. Yeah, you feel some sort of magical power emanating from it. All right. What did you get, Charles, for your initiative?
10.
10. Charles got a 10. You, Ellis.
13.
You also got a 13. And Latro.
18.
Latro got an 18. Nice. Oh, maybe Latro. Oh, maybe today's the day. Yes. Patrick.
11.
Patrick got an 11. And then Jeffica.
19.
Okay, Jeffica got a 19. And you can count that as your snakes, which can take their actions on the same round. So it starts with Jeffica.
Alright. So, they're all in front of us, is that correct?
Yeah, sorry, so you can't see the VTT. So you've descended down these narrow, dark stairs, and you get into this lower cavern space that's even further down into the earth. It's so humid here, you feel like you're almost breathing in water. And there's this stinking, nasty pool in the center. And this dude that you brought in, he runs down into the pool, yelling triumphantly, and drowns himself immediately as you come in. And then these figures, part human, part toad, rise up out of the water. There's probably 9 or 10 of them. 2 of them have robes, and they head over to a stone idol that's surrounded by stones on the far end of the room, and you can sense some sort of dark power coming from the stones. Sorry, what were you saying? Well, first of all, let's start with Jeffica, actually.
Okay. So for her, I'm just gonna do no movement, and I'm gonna cast Word of Command.
All right, on who?
Which, it actually towards the closest toad human man.
All right.
But never mind on that. It fails.
Okay. Does that change your disfavor range?
Yes, it does. I'm gonna have to. It increases by 1.
Crap.
That's great.
All right. Sorry, Ted. What were you saying?
Oh, when that one fellow who was with us ran into the water, did the figures that were already in the water do anything to him?
No, he just so they were just kind of like floating around. You could see people just floating and shifting in the water. Some of them are underneath the water, submerged. This guy dives in, stops breathing, drowns himself willingly.
Okay. I didn't know if maybe they reacted like they go to help him, they go to harm him, but they ignore him, essentially.
Well, what you do kind of notice in the dark, who has light, by the way? Who's got like a lantern or a torch or something?
A lantern.
Thank you.
Okay, you, Ellis, if you're carrying a lantern, you can see in the lantern light here in this this pool, this space, what it looked like is this made them angry. Like that this guy ran into the pool. But either way, they're moving to attack you now. The next person is you, Ellis.
What away are these guys?
They're wearing robes. When they pulled themselves up out of the pool, they went to the far end of the chamber and stand in front of this stone idol with stones around it that are emanating this energy. They look like they're chanting some kind of profane ritual.
But how far are they?
This should be accurate. Let me, I think it's accurate. Yeah, it's not very far. This whole chamber is 20 feet across.
That's cool. In that case, you, Alice, will point at one of them and just say, submit to the will of Justicia, and he's going to try and bind one of them.
All right.
If I can find my character sheet, there it is. Nope, that does not work.
You find that your connection to the lady is dampened here, almost as if this sense that you had, this connection, this wonderful clarity that you sometimes have experienced since your time in the Starless Sea, it's faint here, like it's distant. or as if a big blanket of murky darkness has been cast on it. All right, Latro.
Latro's gonna move up to the mouth of the stairway and take position of his shield and spear. Are there any people within? Are they still all kind of off in the distance right now?
Yeah, they haven't. They're in the pool and they're moving towards you. I'll say that.
Okay.
What's your intention? Is it to try to form like another funnel here and block them, like the toads?
Yeah, to minimize the amount basically of toads that can hit us all at once. Kind of,
I'll kind of move you back the stairway a little bit, and from here you can probably have 3 at once and no more. So that works, but it'll allow 3, and then one other person abreast you can form this kind of wall if they choose to.
Can I ask one question? Sorry, it's going to be quick. So can I shoot through all those people that are standing? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. All right. So Latro, you move up and form your shield, and all right.
Yep.
Patrick.
Patrick first is gonna try to converse with them. Excuse me, you're more intelligent than the frog we spoke with. Those were practically animal. I can see that you're more like a human or something like that. Any chance we can talk it out?
Yeah, they are a mixture of croaking and chanting some foul tongue of chaos. Same thing with the ritual going on the far end of the room. They don't seem interested in talking, except that they seem interested in either eating you or having you join them. That's pretty clear.
Well, I tried. I wanted, to bring peace, but I guess fire also brings peace. So, and those fellows there, it seems like they're trying to go for some kind of magic or something like that. So I think they're more dangerous, and I guess they should be more quiet. And I'm gonna shoot them with my scorching ray.
All right. Who are you gonna shoot?
That guy here. Here, that one.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, he actually seems like he's wearing more elaborate robes than the other one. They're both chanting some kind of ritual. You can go ahead and roll your spell effect.
Okay.
I should also note, as you're doing that, doing your math and stuff, I'll let you know a detail that I missed. So there's this toad idol right on the far end of the room. The stones are on its belly, to be clear, and there are 3 stones, and they're glowing a yellow-green, sickly light, and they're deafening, croaking emanations that are waving out from this form. It's loud in here.
Oh my!
Got a 4?
No, it's 10. It's not a big deal. Just I failed.
Okay.
That's it.
Gotcha. All right. That brings us to Jeffica. Wait, I'm sorry, not Jeffica. That brings us to Charles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Charles. Yeah.
Yeah. How far so Charles sees what Latro's doing, and he nods at the wisdom of it, right? But he also sees the statue with the glowing belly gems, and he's kind of gauging. Can he get to the how quickly can he get to the statue?
You can get there. What's your intention? What's your goal?
I'm gonna go up and try to. You said there's like a lead humanoid figure, essentially.
Yes.
I just want to run, basically treat my spear of law like a lance, and just basically run up and try to pin him or it rather, like to the ground, away from the statue.
All right. Yeah. You can do that.
Okay. So I'm throwing caution to the wind, and I am charging. Spear of law, do not let me down. All right. I rolled a 22.
Sure did go off?
It definitely went off for 8 points of damage, but also my deed of renowned or whatever. So I think it would be, like I said, I was kind of like trying to do an overrun basically. So how about we call it a pushback? And it would be a creature the same size as me is pushed a distance equal to half the warrior's movement. So essentially, maybe I spear him and I'm able to kind of push him away from the statue.
How much damage do you do?
8 points of damage.
Okay. You do that. The really good news is you cancel his spell. He flies against the far wall. You throw him away from the power of the stone idol, separating him from it slightly. It works. The damage would kill any normal man, but for some reason, despite hearing crunching noises and the caving in of parts, it seems like he's still resilient. And that canceled his spell. That brings us to the monsters. Let's see. These monsters are all going to rush up, and as I said, now this gap is open, so they're going to form kind of like an L.
Uh-oh.
One of them is going to try to attack Uelis. The rest of them, you're here in the pool, so a bunch of them are all going to try to attack Charles. There's 4 of them that try to attack Charles. 2, 3, 4. Does a 17 or a 14 hit?
Not Uelis, no.
No, this is for Charles. And actually it's a 17 and a 23. Do those hit?
Oh, yeah, no.
Okay.
I'm only at a 14.
All right, and then
Lay it on me.
let's see.
I think I've got a one-way ticket to the pain train here.
You got a, let's see, 7
Okay, that
plus
averaged out, actually, not too bad.
7 plus
All right.
6 is 13 points of
1
damage.
13 points of damage.
Yeah.
Not so bad.
I'll say that the spellcaster loses his round because he was trying to cast a spell. These 3 are going to try to attack Latro. And does a 19 hit? 19?
19 does hit.
All right. You take, let's see, 3 and 6 points of damage. And then Uelis, a nat 20.
Yeah, that will hit.
And
And
let me roll on their tables here.
yeah, I think it's a D8.
Just remember that we have protection from Justicia, so it's +1 to saving throws.
No, Eugene, it didn't go off. It
It-
was because of... Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's
Oh, it
just
didn't?
It was reduced slightly, so it only affects Uelis. But I don't think it
Right.
matters here. 20 was still hit.
All right.
Okay.
You take 6 points of damage, and then let me look at the chart here. Actually, I kind of need I need the other charts. I wish I had the handy chart tables in the back are not quite so handy at this level.
I've got it handy. Which table you're looking for?
It would be like a warrior,
Warrior.
a leveled warrior.
Which level? I didn't hear that.
I would say, if I had to guess, it's like a level 2. It's a lot of damage.
2.
So
And what number did you get on the table?
I'll roll that. Let's see.
Oh, okay.
What?
It's on page 84 of the book.
Yeah, because I don't even know what the crit die is. You said it's a D8, Ian?
It's a D8. Yeah,
Oh.
it's based on the armor you're wearing, isn't it? Oh, no, that's your fumble die.
Yeah, the fumble die is based on armor, but the critical hit is based on the class as you level. So I think level 2 warrior is crit table 3, and then you have a crit die that goes up. What's your crit die, Charles?
Charles' crit die is a 1d14.
Oh gosh.
Table 3.
Well, that's what
it's
it
a
would.
1d14.
Yeah, that's what it would be then. It would be a D14. Weird that that's like the one die, but I do have my Xochi die here, so I'm gonna roll it off screen because I don't have. There's a D14, and I got an 11, which says strike hammers the foe's belly, causing massive internal bleeding. Unless you receive magical healing, you die in... that's not a 5. In 4 hours. By the time you get out of here, if you don't receive magical healing, you will die. And then...
Magical healing.
Yeah, and then you take 6 damage.
6 more damage.
No,
Six
just 6 damage, yeah. Okay. All right, that's their... Actually, and then one of them is going to cast a spell. Oh, God. This sucks. He's going to try to... These are the bigwigs. He's going to try to cast a paralysis on Charles. But it fails, mercifully. Okay, that brings us back to the top of the round with Jeffica.
That would have been it for me, I'm pretty sure.
I think, didn't we miss Jeffica or something? Where are the snakes at? Jeffica?
No, she's like failed or something like that.
Oh, yeah, but
I
you...
failed the snakes didn't have.
Yeah, you could... So I'll say your snakes can move twice, because they didn't move last time.
Alright. Well, since Charles is in danger, I already rolled their attacks. They're going to go and try and help him out.
Okay.
There's a 15, 16, and 18 hit.
15, 16, 18 all hit. Who are you hitting, though? The mutated peoples around Charles? Is that who you're attacking with the snakes?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, they all hit.
Alright. So then the first one takes 12 points of damage. The second one took... let me see, I didn't mean to roll that one. 11 points of damage. And then the last one took 6, 3... Oh, another 12 points of damage.
Charles, as these things start to swarm around you, all of a sudden you hear a hissing, horrible sound as snakes fly into the pool and start pulling them under and ripping them apart. Icarus green blood starts to bubble up from underneath as these things are dragged down by the Jeffica snakes.
Charles gives a shout and raises his spear. Thank you, Jeffica.
That's their first round, and you can have them act again.
All right. I didn't even prep for that. After that, they're just gonna keep. They're gonna go after the head honcho who's casting a spell.
Okay.
Miss. Hit and miss. So only one hits. Okay. 5, 6, and 3. So 15 points of damage.
15 points of damage. So it sounds like 2 of the snakes hit. Is that right?
Just one.
Okay. One of the snakes starts to burrow inside of this frog mutated person. Actually bursts inside of him like tremors, like your snakes do. And you can actually see him gurgling and still lifting his hands to try to cast the spell, even as a snake eats him from the inside out. But he looks like he's almost done for. Probably by the next round, if he doesn't cast his spell, that'll be it for him. And now Jeffica can act.
Jeffica is going to cast. Let's see if I have it memorized real quick. Darkness.
You can do that, but Charles will also be in the darkness.
That's true, but
he always is.
I think you could cast it at the edge of his light, at the edge, but your snakes will be in the darkness if you cast it. So there's definitely some things to lose if you cast an area of darkness.
That's true. Then yeah, I'm not going to do that.
Well, what senses do a snake rely on? To be fair.
Yeah, don't they do snakes? Don't they sense heat? Right? Don't they?
Yeah, I think it's.
Yeah.
I'll take it then. Yeah, you can do that, and you can cast everything in darkness as your snakes rip everything apart in the dark. Totally wholesome.
All right.
Jeffica's definitely not evil.
She could be an evil eagle. Don't worry. It goes off with a 15, which does. So I designate a point within 20 feet, create a 20-foot radius sphere that remains fixed at that location for a turn. And the manifestation is shadowy cloud of darkness.
I'm assuming that you don't want to put Charles in this, so...
Yes, I'm going to try and tease him out of it.
Yeah, so...
Again, Charles shakes his spear and thanks. Thank you for not blinding me, my ally.
So you do that. You create an area of darkness. Let's see here. Reset the fog of work. And your snakes can see, but suddenly a whole, one of the fighters and two of the priests, they're in darkness and cannot see. That brings us to Latro.
I'm gonna spear the one that critted on Ualis, so we can get that line formed up.
All right.
One moment here. What was that? That's a 7.
That misses. All right.
I got hit on the head or something at some point. He's been missing.
I know it's rough. It's been rough for Latro. Uelis. Although you're tanking, so there's that too.
Uelis is going to try and attack the one in front of him.
All right.
14.
14 hits.
Oh, that's good. So that's 12 damage.
12 damage. You slay the one in front of you, spearing it through, and it falls limp in your against your blade. You said you have a blade that you're using, right?
No, he's got a hammer.
A hammer. All right, then you crush its skull, and it stops moving.
Oops.
Patrick. I'll move that out of your way so you can form the
Okay,
line
yeah,
if that's your goal.
Stepped up.
So basically, those guys that are in the darkness, I cannot see them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or can I?
You cannot see them. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna attack the guys that are in front of Uelis and Latra then, and here hope I'm gonna succeed that. Burn, frogs, burn. It's better when you're a little bit fried, or not. Wait, no, I still do the damage, so it's a plus 3, so it's no, it's failed.
Yeah.
No, it's not failed. It's not failed. Okay, so I do. So just give me a second. So just one receives damage, and no. I failed. Sorry. Yeah, it says failure, but the spell is not lost. What does it mean?
Failure, but the spell is not lost. I think if you fail as a wizard, doesn't mean you can't cast it for the rest of the day. So you just fail, but if you fail.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, next time I'll know. I shouldn't have been able to cast that spell anymore. Anyway, no.
All right. Let's see. It's Charles's turn then.
I think there's only one next to me that's still alive, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
Are they armed, Ross? I don't remember if you
Yes.
said if they're just attacking us with claws or
They have pieces of crap that they're pulling out from the muck. It's just like logs and unidentified things that are lengths of things that they're trying to hit you with that are covered in froggy muck.
Charles is going to, again, stab with the spear, but he'll try to disarm this one if he can, maybe pin its hand or hit it right in the arm.
Is your goal to try to get a prisoner?
My goal is to not let it kill me.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, it's your deed. Got you. Yeah,
yes,
go for
exactly.
it. Roll for it. Yeah.
Although, if we took a prisoner, he's not against that. Like if he could disarm it, and,
sure,
and disable it, if you will.
All right. I'll say that works if the deed goes off.
I was going to say
don't die.
a ton of prep for a womp, so that's a big miss.
It missed. Okay. All right. So with the monsters, a few things happen. I have a stupid question, and I appeal to your all's forgiveness on this, that I do play and run in like 5 different systems a week, and some of these I get them mixed up. As a spellcaster, do you have to spend your whole round staying in the same place, or can you move and then cast? I can't remember, and I don't want to look up at the front of the book because I know it mentions it. But I don't want to
can you move, cast, move?
Can you move and then cast?
I think you can for like most spells. It'll
Okay.
tell you in the spell description if you have to.
I will look because this is pretty lethal. So, like, if he pulls this off, this is going to be a big deal. So, I'm going to look at the. It mentions things like that just at the very front right away. It says, "Here's the things that you can do and can't do." And let's see here. How is this game different? Spells are cast with spell check, modifier, higher the roll, lose as the adventurer. You can cast the spell again. You can't cast the spell for the rest of the day if you fail, unless the chart says that. I don't see anything that says that this monster can't move and then cast a spell. A lot of old school games, you have to spend your whole turn right from the beginning. You have to announce it even before initiative's rolled. Okay. All right. So if that's the case, I know that this game seeks to simplify things. No opportunity attacks, move, do whatever you want. It's trying to be simple. But this is bad news, because it walks out of the darkness into the pool to continue to cast its spell. And we're going to see if it succeeds.
You should roll to see if it trips.
Let's see here. Oh, it's a good thing it failed, because it's real bad. Gnarly. Actually, it's a monster. I can spell burn, right?
Yeah, you can spell burn.
What do you think, Ian? Can monsters spell burn, or is that something only
Why
players
not?
can do? Huh?
I'm not sure.
Right.
I
It
mean,
doesn't say you can't.
says you can't.
No, it doesn't say that they can't. So it's up to the DM.
So long as it just says that, as long as it doesn't say a character can spell burn. I'm trying to give you all any chance I can, but I'm also trying to, not, if this guy can do it, I want to be fair to that. It says that,
It says wizard. I mean, it doesn't say character, player character, or anything like that.
oh, but actually he's a cleric. Okay, good news. The spell doesn't go off. He doesn't so much trip as he's just trying to waddle out as this, and remember, this snake is eating him from the inside out. So he fails to cast the spell on this turn. Let's see. That being said, the other wizard's also going to walk out into the pool and try to cast some spells as well. He is going to cast... these aren't actually very good. Paralysis. That's the best spell for sure that he's got. 15 plus spell check plus 3 is 18.
Who's he going against?
You, because you're there. Actually, you know what? It makes more sense that he would do it against Jeffica. I think that's probably who he identifies as the big threat. Because if Jeffica, I'm going to say if Jeffica can be put down, the snakes are down too. All right. He got an 18. On an 18, the cleric's melee weapons and missiles are charged with paralysis. The charge remains for 1d4 plus its caster level of rounds. And so that's 3 plus 3 is 6 rounds of that. And any attack during the period delivers normal damage plus paralysis on a failed will save. The paralyzed creature is unable to move or take any action for d6 plus caster level rounds. So this, you can see it moving toward the biggest threats in the group. And if you get whopped with this nasty stick that's glowing with this chaotic green energy, you're down. But that was its turn. There's one left over here. It's going to try to attack Charles. It misses, and then there are 2 that are going to try to attack Euelis. He's obviously the biggest threat. Only 1 hits. but it does 4 damage to Uelis, and then the other one misses against Latro. And that brings us back to Jeffica.
Okay. So I keep forget they do 3d6 plus 8 damage. So that's my bad. So 3 of the snakes I already rolled 4, 1 missed. They're gonna go after. One of them's gonna go after the one that's next to Charles if it's still alive.
Okay.
And that would do 11 plus 8, 19 points of damage.
All right.
All right. Then the 2 are going to go after the one with the glowing stick. Because I'm from this point of view, I'm assuming that Jeffica is still like at the base of the stairs, kind of just overlooking everything.
Yeah, you can tell this thing is coming for you, because Jeffica's the one that's just slain most all of these creatures with her snakes. So yeah, it's going to try to take you out. It's obvious.
All right. Yeah, those 2 snakes are going to go after him, and then for a combined total of damage with 22 points of damage.
These snakes burrow into this creature. Finally, it bursts out of his throat itself, ripping out the esophagus. It's unable to croak any more of its foul noises as it sinks into the depths.
So it croaked then?
Yeah. You might say it croaked.
Yeah.
That's it for Jeffica.
Latro dies. No, I'm just kidding.
Latro got smited out of nowhere.
All right.
'Tis a fair court.
All right. That leaves Jeffica too. Also.
Yeah, she's gonna run up to Charles and she's gonna cast. You can pass me for this, but I'm gonna cast. I believe it's Vitality that can cure his eternal wounds.
Restore Vitality, I think, is the one.
Yeah, Restore Vitality. I'm just gonna roll for that all up the page. Ooh, it passes. Otherwise, that would have been very, very bad. Yes, here it is. 14.
14. Okay. Bless you.
Sorry about that.
Oh, that's okay.
Managed to mute myself in that.
No problem. All right, that makes it Latro's turn.
All right, Latro's gonna try to spear the one in front of you, Alice.
All right.
One moment here.
Charles, you just get 1 point of HP back and your eternal damage.
He really does need to get someone to be checking for.
Oh man.
No, it wouldn't be Charles. It was Uelis that you would do that to because he's the one that got the internal damage.
Oh, well then.
I don't need. I'm not gonna die. Well, I mean, I'm beat up. I'm like half down. I'm over half down, but I don't have that internal bleeding.
Okay. Well then, while they sort out their turns, let me re-roll this because he's opposed. Or you guys are all opposed.
All right, Uelis.
Uelis is going to attack the frog in front of him.
All right.
Or not.
Or not. Okay. Patrick.
So I wrote that my missile can only be cast in the darkness of the night. What does it mean? So I can only cast it in the dark, or does that mean it has to be night?
I'll say that. So what it is it comes from some place of evil, and you tap in to the infinite miasma of chaos at the edge of the universes, and in pulling into this power, this is the danger of being a wizard, as it comes from some dark place. No one has magic; they only borrow it, and so you start to pull on these threads, and your eyes turn black. You realize that you need to ask. Uelis to dampen his lamp. You need to ask a lantern. You need to say, hey, cover this for a moment for what's about to happen in the dark.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, but in order to protect us, I need to take the power from the darkness. May you dampen the lantern for me to cast the spell, if it's alright. I know it's much to ask from the cleric of the Justicia, but maybe you can do that for me.
Yeah, if it's something he can do, it's helpful.
All right.
I mean, is it something you can do off, like just hide it for the turn and bring it back, or is that?
Yeah. You can just basically cover the lantern, right? That's all you have to do, and so you do that. Let me see if this 60-30. It looks like everybody has lights or something. Where's the other light coming from?
I have a light
60-30.
as well. I'm gonna dump it.
All right. Maybe that's where it's coming from. 60-30. I don't want to miss the number. Boom. And all of a sudden you're cast into darkness. All right. You can. Did you already roll for the spell? Did it go off?
No. That's what I'm trying to do now.
Oh, okay.
I just roll for the Mercury effect. And hopefully I can, steal visual. Like, I remember what the guy was, the magician one. So I'm gonna try to hit him with my magic missile.
Okay.
If I succeed at this. Oh,
Yeah.
and I succeed!
You can
That is
spell burn too
23.
if you want to push it, but you never know. You may not want to spell burn, but just a reminder, you can spell burn too.
Oh, okay. That's a 23. And I get, sorry. Just give me a second. 23 is 1d4 plus 2 missiles. I got throws 1 to 4. Yeah, so I need to roll. So I can throw a lot of missiles.
All right.
Yeah. So let me roll how many missiles I do.
Oh, that was a token. Do D2. You do D2?
I think so, plus 4.
Oh, okay. That's neat.
So yeah, that's oh, it was supposed to be 1d4. So anyway, it doesn't matter. It's 6 is enough. So it's gonna be 6 missiles.
I mean, roll a
And
D4 and see if you get more, because I'm entertained.
Yeah. Okay.
You want me to do it? Here, I got the map.
No, I'm okay. I can do it. It's the same. So,
All right, yeah, go for
so
6. Yeah.
It's six missiles. So and all the damage is 1d6.
All right, just roll a D6 unless it sucks, and then we'll take the better. I'm just entertained by this. I just want to see what happens. Okay.
It's the damage.
Go ahead and roll it. Go ahead and roll it like another 5 times.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want a boring result out of this. I'm watching. I'm waiting. I want to see something fun happen.
Okay. I'm gonna roll 5d6.
All right. Did all that rolling. I want something fun to happen. Okay. Yeah, so you do a total of 17 points of damage. I think what you ask him to dampen out the lantern, and then you all in this place. The thing is that probably Euelis doesn't maybe think of it this way, but the voice of Justicia has a hard time penetrating here in this darkness. It is faint, but it is a place where forces of chaos can swirl and gather. And you pull on this darkness at the edge of your awareness, and just fill the room with dark power. And these bullets just fly in to all the remaining creatures and slay them.
Well done, old timer. Well done.
Really? All of them? Okay, fine.
When we get out of this, we're gonna take you to the Golden Corral.
The Golden Corral. So you get the discount, of course.
Oh, does it actually kill all of them? Huh?
When he uncovers his lantern, you see all these dead bodies floating, around and stuff. But you suddenly hear a loud croaking noise echoing in the distance back from where you came.
Oh, I thought it's gonna be a beach for my god Lash. I was hoping for a little bit quiet. Still some croaking? What's going on here? And by the way, what's the golden corral? Can you tell me what that's about?
Later on, man.
Okay, sure. Well, I'm really interested. Just tell me more when we have time.
You can hear this thing, the echoing, croaking noises, echoing down from the dark steps up above you, two floors above.
That's coming from upstairs?
No, from just up the stairs from here. These stairs right here that you came up, and then further down, echoing from the caverns.
Latra's gonna take point and slowly head up once he has light. But make sure, at least until then, he's gonna make sure that his shield's blocking the way.
I'm gonna move Jessica's snakes.
Charles will slowly inspect the gems that are in the belly.
Oh yeah, of note. Yeah, these things are glowing that sickly green energy. This toad idol.
He's going to use maybe the edge of a dagger or something like that to see if he can pry one out.
And these aren't gems; they're just literal stones, but they glow this color. Taking some time, if you do so, you're able to destroy this. You said that I just want to make sure I understand what you're doing. You're trying to pry them out.
Yeah, well, first things first, if they were of value, he'd want to steal them. But if they're not of value, but they might be of danger, then he would want to destroy them.
Yeah, ULS will destroy them.
How do you do so?
As I'm trying to carefully pull them out, ULS is just smashing.
Smashes it with a hammer, yeah. All right, ULS, you come up and you smash this unholy idol, destroying its power with a hammer. As something
that could have been worse.
Something croaks off in the darkness, and both of you can make a reflex save. Oh no,
that's not good.
That's not good. All right, Charles passes, but as you destroy it, you no longer suffer the ill effects of this thing. You take 2 points of damage as crackling arcane energy shoots out horizontally from it, frying you to something you can taste in your mind, the back of your tongue from being electrocuted by this thing. But then suddenly you sense that this power has gone out from this place as you've destroyed their unholy idol. But the croaking you can still hear.
ULS is going to do some healing as well. So where's my thing on?
If he's inclined, Charles could use a lay on hands. He's down 13.
So that's 3d8. Yeah, so that's mine. I will do one for Charles as well. If I can find the button, there it is. No. So that'll be Divine Favor going up, and he'll try again. 13 will get you. What's your alignment?
I am neutral.
So you get two hit dice.
6.
Sorry, yeah, 2 hit dice.
All right.
Almost full. Thank you very much, sir.
Just to move things along here, I'll go ahead and move you all up. There's no other way out of this place unless somebody has magic to teleport through walls. Does anybody want to do that or have that ability? No. All right, then there is only one way out of here, so I'm going to go ahead and move you up.
Arwen.
We don't have it yet.
Yet, yeah, that's a good way to put it. for you sorts who were once merely peasants, now command the powers of chaos and law.
I can ward a portal, but
right.
I cannot produce one.
So, and I did have this right. So you take the dark stairs up to the chamber where the frog vampire bats were, and then you continue the stairs up into the pool. When you re-enter this chamber, you can see that blocking your path back out of this place is a thing that resembles a stone, but it is massive. Each of its eyes nearly the size of a full shield. It has pasty gray-white flesh, and strangely, its massive shield-sized eyes are closed in the darkness. But you can see it opening its mouth several times the size of what you are. It croaks. The sound shatters the air around you, vibrating the entire chamber. This is the Toad Thing, the ancient child of the chaos god Schapridoaz himself, and the very living embodiment of the croaking despot. Do you want to keep the same initiative order? I have the monster at the end, so it does favor you.
So, question: do we have to fight it?
You don't have to, but I have a hard time imagining you, Ellis, will let this slide.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay. So
or even
Charles
Jessica.
He's starting to like introduce the idea of like maybe we can negotiate with it, and I assume Ellis is having nothing.
No.
For that.
Yeah. I will say to Charles, but yeah, maybe we should just, maybe just talk with him. I mean, peace and quiet is very good for my god, so maybe just, talk with him. That's a nice idea, by the way.
Yes, it has risen back into the world of beast and men, and it feels it is the time to feed. This thing is not interested in talking to you.
Okay.
Same initiative? Or do we want to re-roll? Monsters at the bottom, I'll take it. Okay, in that case, and you can also rearrange your tokens wherever order of battle that you would be in, like if Patrick, you want to go back or whatever, rearrange them. And Jessica, you're at the top of the round. This thing is probably, it's nearly the top of the cavern. It's probably 25 feet tall.
So we got a large frog.
This is a big boy.
All right.
Chunky boy.
At the risk of their lives, my snakes are gonna sick the snake on it. Do 15 or 16 hit?
No.
All right. Jessica is going to just back away. No, you know what? She's gonna run up and hit it. She's gonna poke it with her staff.
All right.
Does it 18 hit?
An 18 hits.
Oh, thank God. For 4 points of damage. Yeah.
You do 4 points of damage. It seems to do almost nothing at all to this thing. And that means that takes us to Latro.
Do any so this is a cave. Are there any sort of like stalactites or anything above it?
Absolutely.
Okay. I don't think I could hit it with my
You can try. Are you a warrior?
Yeah, I am a warrior. I could try the mighty deed of the arm.
Or crit. So if either of those goes off, it works. But I'll say that you lose your spear for that round, and then you have to try to get the spear back the next round.
Yeah. You know what? I might as well. I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna try to throw and basically dislodge a stalactite. Something sharp drop on this guy's head.
It'll work, but you need either a crit or your mighty deed.
Yeah, I'm gonna try my mighty deed.
I mean, and either will work if either of those go off. You only have to hit an armor class 10.
Okay. This is my first time doing a mighty, so I'm gonna take a look. Give me a second here. So it's my attack plus my deed die.
It's your attack
It's your
plus
deed
your
die.
strength or your dexterity in this case plus your deed die. All of that to hit, and you do it to your damage. You add it to your damage too, and it goes off on a 3 or whatever
Yep,
at
it's a
this
3.
level. Okay, yeah.
It's a 3. Yeah. So the real key thing is, Ken, you need your if you're doing it on the deed die, you really need the deed die to be a 3 or better.
I will also note you all can use your luck to push rolls. Remember that house roll. So you can push deed dies and attacks into critical ranges and stuff like that. But then you lose your luck, and there's no halflings.
I have only 2 luck because I tried to save everyone to not crush me to the earth, so so I'm not using my luck.
All right, Latro, how'd it go?
I am doing it manually here because I got to add in my agility modifier.
Okay.
1 second.
You
Nat
fumble.
1. Yeah.
All right. So, what's your armor? What type of armor do you got?
I have chainmail. So that's
Okay.
my fumble die is a D12.
Go ahead and roll that. I'll get back to you.
Okay.
Uellis.
Uellis is gonna. Oops, wrong button. Uellis is gonna move forward. I think that should do. And then he's going to call on Justicia to bless this fight against this evil of chaos. Where's the spell? There it is. What did I roll? 14. Yeah, I think I'll just have to live with that. Yeah, so I get it's just a bonus on me. I don't really want to drop that much luck right now.
Sure. But the good news is, as you raise your hammer in prayer, suddenly the clarity of purpose that is justice and mercy dawns back into this dark place with the idol destroyed and shattered. And that brings us to Patrick.
Well, sorry. I totally was engrossed in narration and forgot about my Mercurial magic. Sorry about that.
That's fine. No problem.
Isn't the
that's
magic
again.
the one in
I'm gonna go like somewhere dark, and farther away from the light, and gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna try to cast my magic missile. I'm gonna go where it's dark. Hopefully
You just
maybe,
recede into the shadows. Yeah, go ahead and roll for it.
Yeah.
Let's see how it goes.
Yeah. Hopefully I can fry this frog as well. I'm not sure though. It's too big.
Oh no.
Oh no, I failed. That's it for my magic.
Okay. All right. Let's see. That brings us to, and you can spell burn if I don't know how much you'd have to like lose all kinds of attributes to get there though. I guess so.
No, I'm not doing that. No.
All right, Charles.
Charles saw Latro's attempt to knock the stalagmite, and he thinks that's a great idea. So he's going to look around on the ground for maybe a large rock, something where he can try to hurl it.
Yeah.
up
Okay. Go
and
for
hit
it.
Something.
Yeah.
Same story. So I think it'd probably just be this. Ooh.
So we may
That's not
die,
too
but
bad.
you always have no organ damage.
Okay, no, it didn't hit it on the mighty deed, and I only got a nat. I got a nat 19, not 20.
19 is a crit range for a warrior. 19 to 20 is a crit.
Yeah, it would be.
So first of all, you can roll for the crit result, and second of all, it works. So because of the unlikeliness of that, I'm gonna go ahead and roll for the damage. There are these huge. So I'll give you a devil's bargain here. Either everyone nearby, which would be the snakes and yourself, make a reflex save, and I'll increase the damage, or you threw it at a smaller rock and I'll reduce the damage and you don't have to do it.
Oh, you know what I'm taking? I'm taking let's go
All right.
for the big boy.
In that case,
Big money.
Jessica, you can make 2 reflex saves for your snake, You have to meet a 11, and Charles, you can also do a reflex save.
Okay, I'll do that. Is it 1d14? Is it R? I'm sorry, guys. I usually use the
Computer.
I usually use the buttons. Is it? How do I do the roll for a 14-sider?
Depends on where you're rolling it at.
I'm just typing in a command into the public one.
Oh, /D14 or 1d14.
So it goes /R or /roll space 1d14.
Yeah.
I can also just roll it for you if you want. I use macros. Yeah, here we go. Nope. Actually, interestingly, I don't have a D14, but I can do it. Here it goes. It goes /roll 1d14. Bam. And I got a 13.
That's tasty. Okay, so a 13 on the crit is strike breaks the foe's jaw. Blood and shattered teeth ooze down the face. Inflict another D8.
All right, yeah, you can roll another D8.
The snakes pass.
Nice. Okay.
And you needed a reflex from me, right? So here it is. Here comes reflex. 11.
Passes. Okay. All right, so you're able to dodge out of the way as these stones fall down on this thing's face, cracking its jaw. You can see the dust fly off from its face as these stalactites fall into it. It groans in pain, at least having been damaged. So, all right. That'll be the only time anybody can use stalactites. I'll say those are the good ones that were up above you.
Nice.
It's its turn, and Charles is standing right there. And so
Swallowed.
What
actually
could go wrong?
When it like these rocks slam into its face, it opens its maw, and it goes raw, and its mouth opens up into the ceiling, and there's this stuff. You can actually see something like boiling up into its throat, and it goes, and this mass of singeing, burning, gelatinous green stuff flies out from its mouth, and you can make another reflex save, Charles.
I'm all over it. Come on, baby.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Two things happen. First of all, you take 10
Only
damage.
The acid hits me and I hit the floor.
Well, something else happens. What
10 points of damage?
What is your armor and weapons?
I have hide armor and shield.
Oh, that's good.
I have a regular long sword and a spear of law.
Okay. Well, I'll assume that you're holding the spear of law, and because you're using hide, that's a good thing. But the shield dissolves into a primeval sludge, taking most of the damage as this thing splashes into you, where it splashes into your skin in places you burn and howl in pain. And that brings us, let's see, it only has, let me see how many action die. It has 2 action dies. So it's also going to, can do that once, and then it's also going to try to consume one of the Jeffica snakes. It hits, and because a 22 hits, I assume, and
yes, it does.
Your snake needs to make a reflex save.
All right, let's see here. 14.
Let's see, 14 passes as this thing spits this thing up at Charles, and then scoops down to try to get the snake. The Jeffica snake runs away. That's its action die, and that brings us back to Jeffica.
Thank God. This being like a deformed, like, godchild thing, I thought a 14 would definitely fail. Alright, with that going on, all the snakes are just gonna attack again. Miss. Miss. Hit. Miss. 6. 14 plus 8. 14 plus 8 is 22 points damage with one snake. Rest miss.
All right, one of the snakes just launches up into its very eye instead of its pale green hide, bursting like a pimple everywhere. One of the main eyes of this thing, hollowing it out as it just starts to burrow into its skull. It goes shifting from side to side, unable to try to get this thing out of its skull.
I'm not gonna do anything fancy with Jessica. If I try any spells, it's gonna be disfavor. So she's just gonna poke down with the stick, and that misses.
All right.
Okay.
Let's see. Latro.
Well, I rolled my fumble die, and I got an 11, which says that your wild swing leaves you off balance. You take a -4 penalty to your next attack roll. But I don't have my spear right now, so I'm going to be trying to find it.
Okay. You find the spear, and you can apply that penalty to your next attack.
All right. You think I can attack this round? I was thinking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, I wasn't sure. All right, let's go ahead and I'm gonna try to spear this guy.
All right. Nice.
So that would be a 13.
A 13 total? I thought I see a 17 on there. Is that not?
Yeah, but -4.
Ah, right. So you got a 14?
13.
13. That misses. Probably grabbing the spear and trying to attack. That's where you clang off of its leathery, giant, pale hide. It seems to do nothing at all to it. That brings us to Patrick.
Well, Patrick is almost off his spells, but hopefully. I bring you darkness, and I'm gonna try to blind him with my color spray.
Okay.
See if I.
With the
There's
last
no
eye.
mercurial fact that the only thing is that I don't need to speak, and any auditory effects of the spell can be suppressed. So.
All right, roll for it.
And
I will actually get back to you. Well, actually, how's that go? 10?
wait.
Yeah.
No, it's a success. I'm adding 3 to it, so it's you have to roll the will save.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's gonna be blinded for 1d4 rounds.
All right, I got a 10 plus. 10 plus 4 is 14.
So is it a good or not? I'm not sure. So
It's based on your save. You have it's your whatever your spell save is.
13.
Usually the DC roll of the save. So,
DC
yeah,
roll.
so if he rolls 13 or higher, he saves.
Ah, okay, he saved then. Well,
Your bonus looks a bit low on the roll because you're level 3, aren't you?
yeah.
Yeah, you should.
I
be
added
getting
plus 3.
Okay, so
He
he fails. What happens
Yeah.
when he fails?
I mean, no, the creature actually succeeded. It rolled 14, yeah.
Yeah.
I wrote 13, so
Yeah.
but
But the
nothing
bonus
happened
is
there.
off. That's okay. I'll say it works. What happens when it? Because it sounds like you've got maybe
for 1d4 rounds I have to roll. It's gonna be blind.
Yeah, so there's only one eyeball remaining, and you see that, and you cast that out to, like your color spray, blinding the last remaining eyeball. I'll apply a -4 penalty, and I'll say it's even worse if he's trying to do a direct attack for the next
Just
round.
for one round, yeah, he
Charles.
was blind.
Okay. Charles is assuming, he wants to move from where he was in case this thing guesses where he might be. So he's going to just sort of slide down to the end here, but he's going to continue to attack.
Okay, yeah.
And then he's going to jab at its flank with his, the Spear of Law at this point. He's already discarded the acid-eaten shield.
Go for it. All right.
Pretty
Hits.
good.
Nice, yeah.
24, and the Mighty Deed hits, but I didn't really choose anything.
You can choose something. I don't care. I mean,
okay,
yeah, go for it.
I don't know. You know what? I guess he's trying to get it into that pit. Isn't that where the breeding pit was, or am I wrong about that?
There's a mound that comes up out of it. This thing is bigger than that. It's bigger than...
You know, I guess what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to just make it move just 5 feet so that maybe it's 1 foot is in the pool and 1 foot out, just to make it a little uneven, that's all. 3 points of damage, though. Not too much.
If you instead make a Mighty Deed where you, like, inflict double damage, I'll say that you kill it. Because it's pretty close.
I need to think about that, Ross. Yeah, I like option 2. Whatever's behind curtain number 2 is what I'll take.
All right. How do you slay it then with your Mighty Deed?
How do I slay it? I think in its blinded state, it's sort of moving its head a little bit lower. So I'll take 1 step up onto its knee, and just jump up and spear it through the throat.
You jump
Staying
up
away
onto its
from
knee
the bilious,
sure,
like whatever.
And actually, it's about to do that again. Like, blah, starts gurgling, and as it's doing that, you slam your spear of law right into its throat, opening this gout up as you come out the other end with your spear on your shoulder. As this thing just pours out of its throat instead, down into the pool.
That's some
and then
man level stuff.
And then it just towers over and falls down to the ground dead and silent. You all have slain the god-child of Schapridoaz and laid low their unholy idol, shattering the cult of the Croaking despot forever. Here you are, down in the bowels of the earth, in this temple. Its energies and powers gone. Any of the spellcasters and clerics and Patrick can sense that the evil, nasty energies coming from the sacristy are no longer here. Let me take a quick look here. But I will tell you that whether your goal was to cleanse this the Silentian knot or not, you have succeeded in doing so. There is you can continue to explore, but there are no other. There is, and any of the spellcasters can sense this, that the Silentian knot has been eradicated. So the only thing left for you to do, if you choose to do so, is you can simply loot the place. Now, you can either continue to explore grid by grid, or I can just give it to you, because it's on your time now. What would you prefer?
Maybe we should just, like get it with roll something or something like that, Like,
I mean, because I assume, right, like I think it'd be kind of silly to go room by room. There's no enemies, and it's like, well, I take 30 minutes. I mean, you're going to find it, like if you're trying to.
Yeah. No, I have no.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Who is the group treasurer?
Charles, as a former tax collector, thinks that he probably should be.
And Patrick also used to be a merchant, so I kind of
out of character as players who would like to do this for the group.
Yeah, Charles can do it if he wants to.
I don't care.
Ted, if you do, I appreciate that. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Here's what you find.
Give me 1 second to.
Or alternately, I can just put all this in chat. Actually, why don't we do that? That way you.
I was just going to type it in chat. It's easy. If you want to read it, I'll just do it right now.
We don't even have to. I'll put it in chat later. However, just as kind of like a little taste of what you find here, you find some stuff. You find all sorts of weapons, scourges and flails and swords. You find, let's see, what else do you find here? You find
any scrolls, magic scrolls.
Yeah, you sure do. You find some of the magic that can call on Schapridoaz in scrolls. You find, and don't worry about writing all this down. I'll post all of it later. You guys can kind of divvy it up in chat. But you find, in particular, in the Toad Thing's lair that it departed once it was alerted, over 500 gold pieces, another 50 platinum discs, a pallid yellow toadstone in the shape of a heart, and this gem alone is probably worth at least 1,000 gold pieces. This will all reflect in your XP. I'll also do like some treasure XP as well. You find a bunch of treasure and weapons and a few items. Somewhere here is scrolls. I can't find it. Ritualistic Chapel. Here we go. You find a tablet, clearly that once had an evil power to it. Its evil is gone. It's now useless. And actually, I'm sorry, it's not a scroll, and there are no scrolls. That sucks, doesn't it?
Oh, too bad.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So, when you exit the temple, where do you go after you exit the temple?
As we exit, Alice is going to smash up any kind of history or symbology for Bobugdables, and just generally desecrate anything that reveres the Chaos God.
Yeah, I'll even say that if you gather enough of the oil and stuff, once everyone's ready to depart, because this is going to ruin the entire temple, you can find ventilation and you can just burn the interior to the ground, defacing any mural, any history that has ever even been held, wiping clean the history of the Toad Wars from the minds of any mortal, as if it had never existed.
The Toad Wars? I didn't. This is something new to me.
We talked about that in the beginning. The Toad Wars. This is like the whole point of this. If you know the Toad War, the Dark Crusade that occurred eons ago.
Yeah,
I totally missed that.
No, this is known. I mean, battles.
Look, Glastro's been hit on the head a lot. Yeah, he doesn't remember. He's got some short-term memory issues.
Yeah, it was a great 15-minute lecture on the Great Toad War.
I did give like a 15-minute lecture on the Toad War. I remember doing that.
It was
It's
great.
Unfortunate. It gets so weird sometimes that it's probably hard to keep. It's probably healthy not to keep all this stuff in your skull, to be fair.
It might have been a day that I was gone. I don't know.
Okay, so where do you go after you leave the Croaking Fane, having thoroughly plundered and defaced it?
With companions and say, did we have a deal with the village to maybe help us fix our ship or like a part?
Yeah.
Do I recollect that? Or, again, am I like Latro and I've fallen on my head or I've been wounded by acid too often?
They wanted us to go talk to Boba Bugbaziles, but we came here instead. I mean, Alice, do you want to go murder the village? They're Boba Bugbaziles.
That escalated really fast. Yeah. Charles isn't a no. He just wants to hear more.
I'm against murdering villagers. I want to put that on record right now.
Come on, murder is such.
They are lost souls. They are not evil.
They're not evil. They're just lost, and they just worship frogs, like the things that we fought.
So let me frame the choices. Okay, so you got 3 choices. I think one's kind of a non-choice, but as I mentioned before, the swamp extends endlessly around you for miles. Hundreds of miles, probably. This place is a wasteland. You could return to the village, or you could pass by the village and return to your ship. Or you could go out into the endless swamp, where you'll probably die.
Is our ship in good repair?
Patrick is gonna look at Jessica and gonna say, "Weren't you the one that led us here? I mean, wasn't it in your vision that something is gonna help us to fix the ship?"
Oh, he kind of just backs away defensively. I only saw the temple. I didn't say it was gonna help us.
No, your Chaos Lord did say that. Say there was something here that was going to provide you what you needed. Now, I will be clear here. You have thoroughly plundered this place and just faced it and destroyed it. There is nothing else to be gained from this Fane. And
we didn't find like a flywheel or some kind of mechanical part.
No. Yeah, it seems almost like that was just wrong, and that you seem to have gained nothing.
I mean, your Chaos Lord would never lie to you or trick you, obviously, right?
Oh, surely no. They always tell the truth,
Yeah, they never stiff you with the bill. I mean, no.
So do you So do you guys want to return to the ship and pass by the village, go to the village, or go out into the endless swamp? There's really nowhere else to go from here.
Well,
My vote's to the village.
Okay.
My vote is not to the endless swamp.
Okay. So you go to the village, and it's hardly distinguishable from the endless swamp because the village has been completely destroyed. There is no soul left here. It seems that something has happened to its populace.
Like recently. It's
Yes.
not like some weird time warp. It's just something came while we were away and killed everyone.
Yeah. Or
yeah.
you don't see any bodies, you don't see any blood or anything. It seems like everyone simply is gone.
Shall we go to the ruin?
So no broken implements, no like doors kicked in. It doesn't look like anything's been done here. They just are disappeared.
It does look like a lot of the things have been taken from this place, and some of the structures have been knocked over. Some of them have been completely left alone as they were. But a lot is missing. None of it would have been of value to you anyways.
Weren't they going to go have some ritual in their own temple while we...
Yeah, it was at the ruins nearby.
After we moved the comet thing, like
Yeah.
away, right?
Yeah, they invited us to some ritual. So perhaps
maybe
we
we
leave our
should
stuff
speak
at the
with
ship
it.
and go and investigate there.
Maybe we should speak with that about the bills or how to decode them. I mean, we just destroyed his enemy, isn't it? So maybe I don't want to deal with chaos, but I guess do we have a choice to fix that ship? I mean,
If you go and you investigate the site of the ritual where they said that you could gain an audience with Bobugbabills, you find that nothing is here. It looks as if the entire populace has disappeared.
Any like tramp of feet, like if a lot of people pass through a certain direction.
Yes, it is very clear that a large number of the people here did go to the ritual site.
Is it equally evident that they left the ritual site?
It is equally evident that they did not leave the ritual site. The footprints face one way.
I think they might have been lunch, perhaps.
Possibly. There's like the footprints lead just to an area and then stop. They don't like all lead into a wall or something.
Well, there is a large pit here, but there's it's just a muddy hole, a giant muddy hole. There's no indication that it just looks like everybody came up to this place and then that was it.
Well, maybe that abuse wasn't so good to them. I just hope.
I'm not.
Right. Well.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just gonna say I could cast Second Sight and burn the rest of my luck. If that isn't up.
Do you have to burn? Oh, if you burn your luck, you get a lot of information. I don't. There's really nothing to know, I think, just to kind of keep things moving here, except that like these villagers have ceased to exist. They are not here anymore, and that village is gone. What did happen to them? We can look at that later. But ultimately, I think that you all have like a bunch of followers, right? Like you got a bunch of other characters and peoples and stuff that you have. So if you return to the ship triumphant, not really. You don't have any parts or anything. The ship is exactly.
Talking about we killed a huge toad. I mean,
but you don't have any parts or anything. You return the ship. The ship is in the same state of repair. Just to keep things moving here. So in that evening, something happens. To survive here in this wilderness with a ship, despite its arcane mechanisms, none of it seems to be able to help you in your current circumstances. You turn to basic things that you need to survive. One of those is that you ultimately will need to build a fire. And after you build a campfire, in its warmth, the flames suddenly roar in front of you when you gather around it, you Ellis and Charles and everybody. And there's this conflagration, and a wavering form becomes visible in the flames, and you see a mousy-looking woman dressed in a flaming wizard's regalia, standing unharmed in the center of the fire. Just as you are about to maybe act in response to this or prepare any kind of incantation or anything, she raises her hand, and in a soft whisper she says, "Heroes, heroes, please." She sounds tired but determined. She says, "I need your assistance. I was unable to reach anyone. There was some sort of energy in this place, but it looks like I've been able to get through. Perdition awaits me, the flames of justice. I'm going to answer for them, and I ask for your help."
There is only one problem, we don't have a means to. How can we get to you? And where are you? And what's going on with it? Can we have some details, please?
Yes, of course. The yawning hunger of chaos. It's going to devour my soul. But if you help me, I can help you. If you can help me attain my eternal salvation of my soul and free me from the endless miasma of chaos, I can give you my lifelong labor. I'm certain this will help you. It's a magical ring. It has powers that haven't been seen since the world was created in the foundation of Aerith itself. I can feel the power that comes from you all, and I believe that you can help. And if it's only just money, I'm certain that you can get this too. You're seeking for Lithrazir, the enchantress, in the stink pools. She's miles from here. If you travel to a solitary tree at the marsh's heart, any of the questions that you have, fair wizard, can be answered.
Sorry, usually people said that it's polite to introduce yourself. Who might you be again? My name is, by the way, Patrick. And
you start trying to have a conversation, and her voice starts to fade. She says, "Seek Lithrazir, the enchantress, in the stink pools. Near the tree, your questions will be answered." And then, with those words, the flames die down into into a normal flame, leaving your attempted conversation in their wake. And that's where we'll end today.